of the insertion, Jan Opong. Shall we give them the insertion of the air assault, ladies and gentlemen? These saluting guns on display from the Ghana Navy.
Areas to prevent and deter criminal activities, we now have the police airing display.
Wonderful. Wonderful performances over there by the Ghana Armed Forces Physical Training School. Shall we give them a round of applause? Sound mind, sound body. That is the motto of the school. Shall we give them a round of applause? For that, entered Private Nyaba Isaac and Private Benfo Gladwin Amwa. Very shortly, we shall see phase 2 of the insertion of the air assault team. Distinguished guests, the helicopter you see today is one of the helicopters of the Ghana Air Force. It is called the Z9. It was manufactured in China. It can carry a total of 10 troops at a time. We are now at the phase 2, which is the insertion of the air assault team. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the first to exit is Lieutenant Owusu, who is the commander for the rescue team. The helicopter is currently hovering at about 50 meters for the rescue team to be inserted behind enemy lines. The soldier descending with the national flag is a symbol of how fast roping is being practiced in modern armies to afford troops speed and maneuverability to conduct special operations both at night and during the day. That is the dog called Brave. He is well trained and ready for the mission. The pilots in the Z9 aircraft are Squadron Leader Augustine Kanga and Squadron Leader Samuel Jan Opong. The technicians on board were Flight Sergeant Raphael Komla Esiama and Corporal John Gebi. That is the leader of the group, Lieutenant Owusu. He is the commander for the rescue team. Shall we give our special forces a round of applause for that exhibition of fast roping? The demonstration was put together by the commanding officer of the 64 Infantry Regiment. He is in the person of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Ajiman, and he was assisted by Captain Ibrahim Iresa. Thank you very much, our special forces. Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, It is now the turn of the 1-5 Armored Reconnaissance Brigade, with personnel drawn from 153, 154, and 155 Armored Regiments. The first troop is made up of the Cobra Electro-Optic Surveillance System, Armored Personnel Carrier. They are under the command of Captain Theophilus Osei. They have adopted the diamond formation. The second troop is made up of Cobra 2, Armored Personnel Carrier. They have also adopted the box formation. They are under the command of Second Lieutenant Eric Ampabeng. Following the troop closely are the Husky vehicles. The vehicles have adopted a staggered column formation, and they are under the command of Second Lieutenant Henry Amono Benin. The Squadron Sergeant Major is Warrant Officer Class 1, Atta Seidu. Following the 1-5 Armored Brigade is the 66th Artillery Regiment, located at the Volta Barracks Hall, here in the Volta region. The first to march past are the 122 millimeter multiple launch rocket systems. They have adopted the arrowhead formation. They are under the command of the battery commander in the person of Captain Martin Atta. The battery sergeant major is Warrant Officer Class 1, Dogbe Wisdom. Following closely are the 122 millimeter howitzers, which have also adopted the arrowhead formation. The 122 millimeter howitzers are under the command of Lieutenant Mabel Afum Insian. The troop warrant officer is Warrant Officer Class 1, Support Charles. Next is the troop of 107 millimeter multiple rocket launchers. They are under the command of Lieutenant Godfred Amwakun Amun. The troop warrant officer is Warrant Officer Class 1, Parting Gordon. Behind the 107 millimeter multiple rocket launchers is the troop of the 105 millimeter howitzers. The troop leader is Lieutenant Nanabeyin Apiakum. The troop warrant officer is Warrant Officer Class 1, Zo Daniel. The last troop from the 66th Artillery Regiment are the 105 millimeter howitzer saluting guns. They are under the command of Second Lieutenant Samira Anuwe Seidu. The troop warrant officer is Warrant Officer Class 1, Akomenya Nobis. These saluting guns will be used for the 21 gun salutes for today's parade. It is now the turn of the Ghana Navy Divers and Special Boat Squadron. On display from the Ghana Navy are 2 of the 4 Navy's fastest boats, interceptor and rescue boats, Ghana Navy ship Yogaga and Ghana Navy ship Jata. Ghana Navy ship Yogaga is under the command of Chief Petty Officer Class 2, Ahuma Okansi Robin. His 2IC is Petty Officer Class 1, Abdullahi Michael. The commander of Ghana Navy Ship Jata is Sub-Lieutenant Daniel Akable, and his second in command is Petty Officer Class 2, Aganya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, approaching the days now is the Ghana Armed Forces Physical Training School mobile vehicle. They are conducting a series of displays on board the mobile vehicle. It is now the turn of the Ghana National Fire Service vehicles. They have a total of 5 firefighting vehicles on display today. These include firefighting tenders, turntable ladders used in fighting fire in high-rise buildings, and a recovery truck. The commander is Adio Nathaniel Ama. Leading the vehicle display is the Volvo truck. This is a multi-purpose fire appliance used for fire and rescue operations. Next is the PS truck. This is a dual-purpose tender used for firefighting and hazmat incidents. We now have the turntable ladder. It can be extended to a height of 37.5 meters. It is capable of reaching 12 floors. We now have the hydraulic platform. This vehicle is used for fire and rescue operations. It can be extended to a height of 72 meters, capable of reaching over 24 floors. We now have the recovery truck, which is used for towing and lifting vehicles. It is now the turn of the Ghana National Ambulance Service. From the National Ambulance Service, we have ambulances drawn from the various constituencies in the whole municipality. On display today are 6 Mercedes-Benz ambulances. The leading ambulance is commanded by SAEMT Henry Holali Maugwe. He also doubles as the Deputy Regional Commander and Head of Operations. We have ambulances from North Tong, Keta, Central Tong, Afajato South, South Dai, and Ketu South constituencies.
Motorbikes patrol to patrol residential areas, suburbs, and other vulnerable areas to prevent and deter criminals from operating. They also combat hardened criminals. This has reduced drastically crimes committed with motorbikes in areas noted for such crimes. The formation by the visibility unit is called in our local parlance Eban, which means strength. Closely following the visibility unit is our canine unit, that is the dog unit of the Ghana Police Service, and it is commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Police Joseph Awuni with the dog name Inspector Hunter. The commander handling the dog with the name Inspector Hunter, and I think they deserve a round of applause. He is ably supported by Inspector Francis Sapon. The canine unit was established in June 2019, which offers a specialized resource to the Ghana Police Service with the use of trained dogs in crime prevention and detection, criminal apprehension, officer safety, and service to community. These dog handlers and their dogs were trained by the Paramount Specialist K9 Training Academy in South Africa, where they were taken through counter-improvised explosive devices awareness, combat first aid and trauma training, as well as the use of handguns shooting targets at short and long distances whilst handling dogs. Some of the dog names are General Sergeant Ragnar and G Sergeant Zeus. Closely followed by the formed police unit of the Ghana Police Service, and is under the command of Deputy Superintendent of Police Dr. Christabel Dinah Ofori Atta. She is supported by Deputy Superintendent of Police Joyce Adjoa Kwabia Asari. The formed police unit was established on 29th July 2013 under the leadership of Inspector General of Police retired Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Al-Hassan. Then the Director General of Finance, now the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu Dampare, was highly instrumental in the setting up and operationalization of the FPU, which was under his direct supervision. No wonder today, the FPU is seen as one of the pillar units in the service and is soon extending to all regions within the country. The FPU provides both international and internal security. Some of the functions include public order management, protection on UN personnel and property, supporting operations that require a formed response and may involve high-risk operations. Some of the vehicles they are displaying this afternoon are rapid intervention vehicles used to rescue of VVIPs, diplomats in times of emergency. We also have armored personnel carrier vehicles for survival during crowd control. They are also displaying the Guardian, which is used as an assault vehicle and can be used for rescue and crowd control. We also have Maverick, multi-purpose vehicle, which is also used in crowd control as well as public order management. Followed closely is the mobile clinic, the police mobile clinic. It offers first aid on operational basis during demonstrations and crowd control. It has the capacity to provide surgical procedures on operational fields. It has radiological capacities and also an acute cardiac life support services. And it has a bed capacity of 9. We also have a specialized counter-terrorism unit, which is commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Police, Dr. Entry Akomea, and supported by ASP Patrick Adu Boateng. We now have the police air ring displaying. This is the police air ring. We have 3 helicopters. The leading helicopter is called the Fennec, which is named GP001, and it is piloted by Air Ring Sergeant Emmanuel Agbemehia, and is supported by Air Ring Sergeant Merix Bona. These are the 3 helicopters, and we have the remaining 2. We have GP002, piloted by Air Ring Sergeant Bright Ado Ajay, and supported by Air Ring Sergeant John Apia Kubi. We also have GP003, piloted by Air Ring Sergeant Godfred Smith, and supported by Air Ring Sergeant Yasser Yakubu. Some of the functions include providing air support to the police, including recce activities, crime prevention and detection through regular patrols, air-to-ground direction, guiding police on ground to their targets, search and rescue purposes, photographic tags, providing area photography for crime, traffic, planning and routine operations, as well as covert surveillance, observation, and photography.